welcome to Ones to Watch, powered by Football Index, where you bet on the football stock market by buying shares in the world's top players. I'm joined, as always, by our resident pundit, Alan McInally. Hi, Al.
Hello, Emma Jones.
You're looking very smart. Thank you for making an effort this week.
Well, you always make the effort, and you always look so lovely, and I'm always scruffing it in t-shirts, so I thought I better kind of try and... Seeing as the transfer window is almost up, I thought, just in case.
Well, it's much appreciated. Cheers, Al. Who's our first one to watch this week?
Well, I think he's someone that we've actually kind of touched on before, but I haven't actually had him on the Football Index one to watch, and it's Saïd Benrahma. Did really well last year with Brentford, almost got them to the promised land, and I do think there'll be clubs really interested. Of course, it's on Friday. Is it the 16th of October is the end of the EFL window, rather than the transfer market being closed for the Premier Division clubs with each other in the rest of Europe. So there's still an opportunity for a lot of people to go for him, and I definitely think he should be on one of our ones to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. As we know, West Ham look keen to sign him for an estimated 30 million. If we have a look at Saïd Benrahma's 1920 championship season now, he played 46 games, 140 take-ons completed, 64 shots on target, 59 fouls won, 17 goals, and provided 9 assists. Good stats there, Al. Really good stats.
A lot of people will say he's only had one good year in the championship. I mean, he's been obviously one of their better players, and I would disagree he's had just one good year. But the best stat you give me there, Emma, and you give everybody, if they think he might be one to watch, is the fact that he played 46 games. That's a huge amount of games, which means A, he wasn't injured, and B, he was always available. So his form was good enough for his manager to keep playing him. I just think, I mean, you threw West Ham in there. I think they're probably at the forefront. Is 30 million too much? Not really, if he manages to take that championship form into being a Premier Division football player. And I don't see any reason in what I've seen so far why he can't.
Absolutely. I mean, it is a step up, but you look at, who it looks like he's going to be replacing, Felipe Anderson, who has obviously joined Porto on loan. In your opinion, Al, is he an improvement on Felipe Anderson?
Well, originally when I saw Felipe Anderson, I thought he was going to be pretty good for West Ham. That hasn't been the case, and you've just already told me he's on his way to Porto on loan. So I think Saïd Benrahma will bring certainly a little bit more directness maybe than Felipe Anderson certainly did at the tail end of any games he played for West Ham. And I think that's probably what they need. They rely on Antonio so heavily. They've got Sebastian Haller there that they spent a lot of money on, who did have a good goal-scoring record at Frankfurt. But they had players at Frankfurt in wide areas that got the ball in the box. And I think that's generally why you would think about bringing in Saïd Benrahma. Get to a position in that final third and get the ball in the box for Haller or Antonio, and if he does that, it'd be worth the guts of 30 million, not a problem.
Absolutely. That's our first one to watch. Thank you very much, Al. West Ham fans, would you be happy with Saïd Benrahma? Brentford fans, you probably don't want to say goodbye to him. Feel free to let us know, as always, in the comments below. Right then, Al, who's our second one to watch this week?
Well, this is one that I didn't really want to put him in for one to watch because he's frustrated me for such a long time, and he frustrates me as much as you do. my little angel. But I'm going to throw in Theo Walcott because he's gone back to where it all started for him. Now, he was going to be the next big thing. He really was. Potentially, we thought he was going to be for England as well. Such a game changer. Now, he had a decent time at Arsenal. I wouldn't say he was a permanent starter for Arsenal. That was a problem for me, considering we thought he was going to be this and that. He did win, I'm going to say, three FA Cups at Arsenal, so he'll deem that as some sort of success. But Arsenal are obviously looking to try and move on, and eventually he goes to Everton. Sam Allardyce paid 15 million for him, and it hasn't worked there either. And it's been a little frustrating. Now, I live in the Northwest, as you do, and I know a lot of Everton fans, and when they signed, they were like, well, we might get the Theo Walcott that everybody thought was going to be happening back in the day. Hasn't worked out for him. And it's a real puzzle for me. And I've been quite critical of him on Sky Television, but only because I'm like, come on, Theo. I know it's in there somewhere, but come on, give me it. And he hasn't given me it, or the last couple of clubs he's been at. But just maybe going back to Southampton might be the catalyst to spark something in. So it would be remiss of me just to disregard Theo Walcott as a Premier Division football player. He's got lots of experience, and I hope for his sake he can get back to something that we want to watch.
Yeah, well, you look at Theo for Everton in all competitions, Al. Played 85 games, scored 11 goals and provided 9 assists.
Not enough. Not enough. I mean, genuinely, for Everton, even if that had been a national start, it wouldn't have been enough. 85 games, 11 goals, 1 and 8. It's not enough. So even he must realise that it's nice to pick up a nice wage. It's nice to play in the Premier Division, but something must be clicking in him to say, right, okay, it's about time I got back to what even I thought I was going to be. And it's only him that can do it. So I say good luck to him, but I'm waiting for him to give me the spark to say, he was in there all the time. He just didn't show it enough.
Just give it. Do you think one of his struggles, Al, has been that he doesn't really know where his best position is?
Yeah, during the 90 minutes. I mean, we're saying a little tongue-in-cheek in there and having a dig at him, but just maybe, you know. I think he was tried through the middle because he's obviously very quick and he can get in behind defenders and play on the shoulder of centre-halves. That didn't quite work for him. I think it did for a spell, but then, I don't know, it's a very difficult position to continue to do it. And then people played him in wide areas because they thought he might use his pace, get the ball in the box. But that final ball into the box was always a problem. And the high quality that we thought he had in the boots simply weren't there. And that's one of the reasons, incidentally, that he's gone back to Southampton. Because right now they've got the hottest striker in the league in Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And they're basically saying, no, we don't want you. Go back to Southampton. So maybe that's a good point, Emma, you bring up, that where is his best position? What is his best position? And it'll be interesting to see where Southampton play him if he plays for Southampton. And
it'll be interesting to see what you think as well. Feel free to let us know in the comments below. Who is our final one to watch today, Al?
I'm delighted I'm going to even be talking about this lad because when you talk about good football stories and players that probably thought, I'm never going to play for England, never mind score for England, Conor Coady did it the other night against Wales. And unfortunately for him, in a huge stadium like Wembley, and there was no one there. And I feel for him a little bit. But I'm going to throw Conor Coady in because I do genuinely think of all the players we could pick in the Premier Division, his trajectory of form, the way he plays for Wolves, the way his manager thinks about him, and now all of a sudden Gareth Southgate thinks he's a centre-half for England. I am absolutely delighted for him, and he is definitely on our football index, one to watch for sure.
He certainly is. And in your opinion, Al, who do you think the better player is, a better option for England to play in the centre of a three, him or Eric Dyer?
Who do you think?
I'm throwing it to you. You're the ex-player.
You're better at this than me, though. To be quite honest with you, I think I would pick. Listen, I don't see Eric Dyer as a centre half. I really don't. And I think it was a bit of a pitfall the other night there when he gave away a penalty. I don't think he's quick enough to play in that position. I don't think he smells danger enough quickly. And I think whereas Conor Coady definitely does, I think he's proved it the way he plays for Wolves. Now, Eric Dyer, to be fair to him, might be another one where we say, where's his best position? I think he's a defensive midfield player because I don't want to trust him as a back 2 or 3. And I think if I have him in the midfield as more of a parachute, I think he'd be happier there. And I think the reason we've seen Eric Dyer play in numerous positions for Spurs is probably a problem that he wants to play in a particular position. But if you're going to give me a choice, there is no option, and there's no doubt in my mind, rather, that my option would be Conor Coady, because what he's done at Wolves so far has been absolutely fantastic. And his manager must be so proud he's now an England international.
Definitely. And you mentioned as well his goal for England against Wales the other night. He's the first Wolves player to score for England since Steve Bull in June 1990, which incidentally was the year I was born out. Do you feel old?
1990. What was that? To be fair, actually, I remember Bully. Scotland played England at Hampden, and we got beat 2-1, 2-0. I think Bully got both goals or one of the goals. So considering, I don't know there's a lot of foreign players in the league now, but considering it's taken that length of time for Wolverhampton Wanderers to get another player, or to score rather, for England is quite astonishing. More astonishing is that you were born in 1990.
We are moving on, because he mentioned his trajectory. He's gone upward. If we have a look at his club career, he's gone Liverpool to Sheffield United on loan, then to Huddersfield Town, and then to Wolves for 2 mil. And it's a strength of character the way he's managed to do that and build himself back up. But do you think Nuno can take some credit for that, Al?
Yeah, absolutely. And whoever brought him to the club, of course, should take great credit. What did you say, 2 million?
2 million, bargain.
I mean, 2 million now. You develop him into one of the best defenders in the league. If somebody come in for Conor Coady, Wolves would be like, well, we'll take 50 million in a heartbeat and then we'll talk about it. So, absolutely. And you're right, the path he's taken and the knocks he took, by the way, there's no question. When you look back in the career, he must have thought at times, I'd like to be a big-time player. But and there's no one else, by the way, that can do it bar him, which is his attitude is fantastic. And he's eventually got the opportunity at Wolves and he's taken it. And all of a sudden, he's a captain. So Nuno Espirito Santo definitely patting the back. But he realises a good player. And not only that, see when you're the captain of a football club and you're such an integral part of the football team, you know what kind of character Conor Coady has. If he can, he won't let you down and he'll give you everything he's got. And that's why he should absolutely, definitely be in one to watch on our Football Index.
And he is. Feel free, as always, to have your comments in the comments below. Feel free to let us know what you think. Thank you very much, Alan, for joining us, putting your best shirt on for it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Listen, I'm still getting over that 1990 birthday.
I'm going to let you go now, old man. Thank you very much for joining us for Ones to Watch, powered by Football Index, where you bet on the football stock market by buying shares in the world's top players. We'll see you back here next week. Cheers, Al.
Bye.